In this video, I'm going to show how revision works inside existing documents using purpose-built AI tools in the Eduaide workspace. The key idea of this video is simple. Revision in Eduaide happens inside of the document. You do not need to start over and go back to the dashboard to adapt materials for different learners or instructional goals. Take the following documents as examples. The first is a quiz for an 11th grade world history course learning about the Industrial Revolution. The second document is an informative text covering the same content for the same grade level. I would like to revise both of these slightly, add a few elements, take a few things away. How would I do that? To begin with, you have a toolbar on the left-hand side. This toolbar includes differentiation options, an AI agent for revision, a tool to evaluate, a tool to create or search for images to use. Let's begin with the differentiate tool. We have a quiz. Section 1, multiple choice. Section 2, true, false. Section 3, fill in the blank, matching, short answer, and an essay. But perhaps I would like, an answer key. I could go to differentiate, click grading support, click answer key, click add to document, differentiate, and here we are. We now have an answer key for the document. Perhaps I want a rubric for this essay portion. I could also add that to the document. And the AI builds out a rubric in a table, grading criteria, understanding of concepts, use of evidence, clarity of expression, depth of analysis. Directing my attention now over to the guided reading, I see that there are clear headings. It's a logical progression. There's check-in questions throughout. There are review questions at the end. But there's some things I could do to this document. For example, perhaps I want to decrease the lexile level of the document. I could do that, hit create new, and what we will have now is a branched document. We have our original version and now a second version. The second version decreased the lexile level of the text. All of these tools will simply branch the documents. Maybe I would like to add an image. I see that this section is about the textile industry. Let me create some space. Let me go to images, search. I see we have a nice image that would work here. I've inserted that now into the document. Looking at the section on Germany, we see heavy industry, steel and chemical production. Create a space for that. I could say heavy industry. Run the search. Here's an image that we can use of heavy industry. Wonderful. These are all openly licensed images in the public domain or Creative Commons open licenses. You can also generate an image in any number of different styles: realistic, cartoon, diagram, artistic, minimalist, and a default explanatory style that we use in Eduaide. Now you have options for revision. Revision simply takes an AI agent, we call it Erasmus. The agent reads the document, and you could say, I can now take these outputted questions and insert them into the document. I can replace them by deleting these review questions here. And with minimal changes, I now have my review questions. They've been reoriented into multiple choice questions on this text. I have my standard text as well, which still has the short answer review questions. I have my AI agent still up. I can start a new chat right here and ask follow-ups about this document. So we've covered differentiate, revise, images. Here's your history. It's just the 10 most recent things you've created, and you can quickly pull those up as well. So now I have a study guide right here on the topic of the quiz. But let's say you want to create something totally new, whole cloth. You go to this create button, It pulls up our library component, which has all of the Eduaide resources, again, organized as they are in the generator. Lesson builder, organizers, games, favorites, subject essentials, and your most recent generations. Perhaps I would like to use a more complex multi-part question. I select that, and I'm met with a familiar form. This is the finalization form again. You can click Use Current Document. That's going to use the document that's open in your workspace now as context. Then I'm going to build a multi-part question. Let's make sure I'm at 11th grade. So I'm going to build a multi-part question based on the study guide. Identify and describe 3 primary factors that contributed to the start of the Industrial Revolution in the UK, Part B, Part C, and it lays out a multi-part question for the students. I can take this multi-part question, if I like. I can merge it over here into my quiz. I'll add it right below. And then I can just change the formatting so it matches the other sections. We'll say section 6, multi-part question. Change this to section 7, essay. And now I have a quiz with multiple parts. I have 2 readings that the quiz will be based on. I have a review study guide for the quiz, and I have a multi-part question that I've drafted for it. All of that in just a few minutes, shorter than it takes for me to put in a coffee order. Thank you all, and have a great day.